Now, I had a friend who told me years ago, like 3 years ago, we were literally having dinner, and he said, man, I've seen the craziest game, bro. He goes, one time I was chilling and I got a call that Puff wanted me to come over. This is all allegedly. He says 3 years ago, wanted me to come over, pull up. I pulled up, and yo, he wanted me to like play with Cassie's, seeing this, that, this, and this.
They always say hindsight is 20/20, but when your hindsight comes with victims, lawsuits, leaked videos, and shattered illusions, it's not just regret, it's responsibility. Jason Lee found that out the hard way, because 3 years before federal agents raided Diddy's homes in bulletproof vests, 3 years before Cassie's lawsuit exposed a decade of manipulation, and 3 years before the world saw surveillance footage of one of the most powerful men in music chasing a woman down a hotel hallway, Jason had already heard the warning. He just didn't listen. If you're watching this, you already feel it. This isn't just gossip. It's power, silence, and control. So before we go deeper, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because what comes next, they never wanted it public.
Courtroom. Let me just set the scene. His kids and family, mom, and everybody is sitting in the courtroom as people were talking about how they got peed on. Despite Daniel's claims, Cassie later detested the urination acts, testifying, I didn't want it. It was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. No one could think I wanted it. It was obvious I didn't want to be on the ground being urinated on by two men. Now, she alleged
it happened at a quiet dinner, late at night, in New York City. One of those exclusive meals where everyone at the table has a story, but few have the guts to tell it. But one person did. A male model, someone in the industry, someone close to the edges of power leaned in and dropped a bomb. He said Diddy had invited him over, that Cassie was there, that something went down, that it was filmed. Jason didn't know what to say. He looked at the man across the table and chalked it up to clout chasing, fantasy. A weird, possibly intoxicated exaggeration from someone trying to sound more important than they were. He brushed it off, didn't press, didn't ask follow-ups. Because when you're still attending the parties, still shaking hands with the gatekeepers, still dancing in the palace, they don't train you to look behind the curtain. They train you to stay on beat. But that dinner wasn't just a story. It was a missed signal, a flare, and Jason wouldn't realize it until it was far too late. Because in November of 2023, the illusions came crashing down. Cassie filed her lawsuit.
Allegedly, but at the time when he said it, I really thought he was just crazy being a clout chaser.
That's his thing, though.
And then full circle, I had to call him. I went back to New York for something. I pulled up on him and I said, I'm sorry. Because what he said lined up.
In graphic detail, she described years of abuse, coercion, surveillance, and fear. The internet gasped, but Jason sat still, frozen, because line by line, claim by claim, it started to match the story he ignored at dinner. Then came the video, hotel surveillance, Diddy in a towel, Cassie running, him charging, him grabbing her, throwing her, kicking her, no more rumors, no more he said she said, just violent truth on camera, and that's when Jason knew. That story wasn't fantasy, it was foreshadowing. He had dismissed someone who was trying to tell the truth, and now the whole world was watching what he once brushed off. So Jason did something most people in this industry would never do. He went back. He found the model, looked him in the eye, and apologized. Said he was wrong, said he didn't listen, said he should have known. But that apology didn't end the story. It started it. Because once you admit you've ignored the whispers, you have a choice: keep ignoring them or start chasing them.
I don't know whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
None of it. All of it. I mean, you know.
I've never seen it. I've known him for 29.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. Yeah. It's a movie.
Jason chose the latter, and every path led him to one name. Not Diddy, not Cassie, not even the model. It led to someone who's been standing beside Diddy for 3 decades. The man behind the music, the friend in every photo, the right hand who never steps out of frame, Stevie J. Most people know Stevie J as a producer, a reality star, a character, but what they don't know is that Stevie J is the skeleton key, the man who's been in the room longer than anyone. And according to Jason, and now multiple lawsuits, he may not have just been in the room. He may have helped keep the door shut. See? Jason started calling it the silent code, a set of unspoken rules that govern the powerful. It's not the no snitching code from the street. It's not about gang loyalty. It's a polished, high society code, one where exposure is death and silence is currency. One where you don't just ignore bad behavior, you insulate it, protect it, normalize it. And if you're Stevie J, you do it with a smile. When the Cassie video dropped, Stevie didn't flinch. He didn't criticize Diddy, didn't denounce him. Instead, he went on camera and said he never saw that side of Diddy.
Yeah, because, like I said earlier, that's all I know is a dude who's introducing me to all, you know how many artists you named? He introducing me to all that, like, yo, we gonna be getting busy. We on private jets flying and working with different artists, from Mariah to Big to Jay to Beyonce. We just flying around working, and I didn't see that. So when I saw that video, I was as shocked as you was.
Said he was probably on something. Said, "That's not the man I know." But those words weren't protection, they were deflection. Because Stevie wasn't reacting like someone who was shocked. He was reacting like someone who knew exactly how deep the hole was and how much of his own story was buried in it. Stevie J has always been loyal. That's what people say. Loyal to Diddy, loyal to Bad Boy, loyal to the lifestyle. But loyalty becomes complicity when silence allows abuse to fester. When you've been inside the castle for 30 years, when you've traveled on the jets, attended the parties, watched the guests come and go without cameras or security, you don't get to play innocent.
You know, he said some off-the-wall shit at his house. That was a threat, but it wasn't like a threat that I thought at the time, like he's gonna carry out and do something. He just basically, you know, he had a little too much to drink, and I think he, you know, I was taking a picture in his house, and I said, "You want to get in the picture?" And he walked up and he just said, you know, "Don't try no funny with me, because I'm not that."
Especially not when your name shows up in court documents. And that's exactly what happened with the Lil Rod lawsuit. In February 2024, Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a federal complaint that tore back the velvet curtain. He said he lived with Diddy for over a year while producing his Love album, said he traveled with him, ate with him, slept under his roof. And then it got darker. He said Diddy drugged him, said he would black out and wake up sore, said Diddy pressured him into sexual situations, said escorts were arranged, and said point blank that Diddy tried to get him to sleep with Stevie J in exchange for career benefits. That wasn't hearsay. That was printed, notarized, and filed in federal court. And Stevie's name wasn't a side note. It was embedded in the operation. The lawsuit claimed Diddy used his influence to manipulate artists and producers alike, that he used Stevie as a tool, that their partnership wasn't just about beats, it was about control.
Listen, Diddy's producer Lil Rod, who said he would fall asleep or be drugged and then wake up sore.
And when the lawsuit landed, Stevie said nothing. Not a denial, not a statement, not even a whisper. Because that's the silent code. You don't speak unless the king tells you to. Jason says it's not just Stevie's silence that's suspicious. It's his proximity. Because Stevie isn't just someone who worked with Diddy, he became a part of his identity. Their careers, their reputations, their income, they're fused. Diddy promised power. Stevie brought sound. And in return, Diddy gave him access. But access always has a price. And when Jason started remembering more, the picture got even worse. He remembered being in Diddy's house, asking for a photo, and Diddy snapping, getting in his face, saying, "Don't try no funny times T with me." That wasn't just a drunken warning. That was fear. That was paranoia. Diddy's kingdom only worked if the cameras stayed off unless he was the one holding them. Jason now believes that fear wasn't random, it was rehearsed. Because at Diddy's parties, even the most powerful celebrities weren't allowed to bring their own security. Not Beyonce, not Jay-Z, no bodyguards, just Diddy's team, his surveillance, his rules, and if you stepped inside, you were at his mercy. No phones, no witnesses, just trust in the king. That's not hospitality, that's a trap. And Stevie J, he didn't just attend those parties, he helped build them.
I haven't been charged with shit. Y'all making me painting this picture of me to be a monster.
Well, he has been charged.
I mean, he hasn't been
convicted.
He hasn't been convicted.
He has been charged.
All right.
Just keep it
He
fair.
hasn't been convicted.
Correct. No, he's
of any
innocent
crime.
until proven guilty.
Jason started asking questions. Why is Stevie still defending Diddy? Why does he keep saying, "I never saw that"? Because maybe what he's really saying is, I chose not to see it. Or maybe worse, I was told not to speak. Loyalty like Stevie's doesn't come without layers. He's seen the good, the bad, the unspoken. And yet, even as the world turns on Diddy, Stevie stays quiet, stays loyal, stays aligned. And in a world where silence protects predators, that alignment speaks louder than any words. The Lil Rod lawsuit is still active. Not all claims were thrown out. The trafficking-related ones remain. That means this story isn't over. It's still unraveling. And the deeper it goes, the more names are going to fall out of the cracks. Jason knows he missed the signs before. He says he's done being blind, but now the world is watching Stevie J, watching the man who stood beside the throne and said nothing, watching to see if he'll finally step into the light or go down protecting a kingdom built on pain. Because at some point, silence isn't strength, it's guilt.